Hey guys, today we are talking about 7 best landscape photography tips. We are on island La Palma, which is known to have amazing landscapes, so perfect place to do this tutorial. And we are actually on the way to around 2,400 meters of altitude because we are trying to get above the clouds to get some nice light. But on the way we stopped because we found this cool looking bridge. We are halfway up the mountain and we stopped at this U-turn because the composition looks really nice. And I'm also gonna do some landscape photography with 70 to 200 lens, which brings me to tip number 1. Don't just shoot on a wide-angle lens if you want your content to be different. One of the typical landscape photography tips is to shoot on a wide-angle lens, and you know, it's nothing wrong with that. I like the 14mm super wide look as well, but if you want to stand out as a content creator, have something different to show, use zoom lenses for landscape photography. And I really like them because they create this compressed image look. And what I'm searching for when shooting on a zoom lens is layers that create depth in the image, or I choose a dominant subject that I can isolate and really create that compressed image look. So what I did is I left all of my wide angle lenses back at home to challenge my creativity, so I'm only going to use my 35mm prime lens and the 70 to 200 to shoot landscapes on Canary Islands. And for example, if you don't have a wide angle lens, you can't afford it just yet, or you just don't have it with you, like I don't have it right now. I'm shooting on Sigma Art 35mm f1.4 lens, but I still want to capture this majestic landscape. So what I will do is take a panorama, stitch the pictures together, and voila, the majestic perspective, the majestic composition is here. So the light outside is still a little bit too harsh. We are gonna wait for the soft golden hour, and what we're doing now is scouting for locations. So when the light comes, because we only have a short period of time, we're gonna know exactly where to position ourselves to snap as many different photos as possible. Tip number 3 is leave the tripod at home. Now let me explain. Renato is looking angry at me, so we're gonna go. So basically, I think there are 2 types of landscape photographers. Type number 1 is the photographer that puts the tripod on one place and stays there for the whole golden hour and leaves with one good picture. Now that picture is amazing. I'm sure of it. You can use Andi filters, long exposure photography, and it's nothing wrong with doing that. But I'm kind of more of a second type of photographer, which means that I like to have as many different photos as possible. I'm more of a run and gun type. So what I will do is when I arrive at the location, I'll do a quick scan, make a plan in my head, and then I'll just start moving around quickly as fast as possible to snap as many different photos, capture as many different angles as possible. And you know, imagine I have a big tripod. It takes too much of time, and you know, some sunsets are really quick. Maybe you have 20 minutes to capture as much different content as possible, so you have to act fast. And me personally, I like to have as many different photos that will help me tell a better story of what that specific experience was. But it is nothing wrong to have a tripod and capture that 1 or 2 amazing pictures. So basically you just have to ask yourself, who are you and what do you want? What is your end goal? For me is to have as many different photos. Tip number 4 is make a plan. Basically, what I like to do is arrive at the location a little bit earlier before the best light comes out and just scan the surroundings and communicate with my subject if I have one. Tell him exactly where he needs to be. And a pro tip I would give you here is use an app called Sun Seeker. Basically, you point it in the sky. It will show you exactly where the sun will be positioned at the sky at specific hour. And this will make it even easier for you to plan the shots. Tip number 5 is add a person in the shot. In my style of landscape photography, I like to add a person in the shot to help the viewer feel the scale of the landscape, to make it relatable to the viewer so that he too will want to visit this location after seeing my photo. I want to inspire people to travel to beautiful places, so I always search for a point of attention. Now this could be a building, or ideally I like to, as I said, position a subject, a person, to just bring more charisma to the image. So we are rushing to from the location to location. We got maybe 15 more minutes of light. So tip number 6 is try to capture the same place from as many different perspectives as possible. Change lenses, change focal lengths, change camera angles, shoot from low angle, human eye level angle, from above down, have something in the foreground. So just be creative. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. And the last tip I would give you is regarding the look of the sun that you're going after. Basically what you can do is play around with your aperture setting. If you lower it down to maybe f1.4 or 2.8, you're gonna get this soft sun rays, soft glow. But if you crank it up, let's say 9 or 16, you're gonna get those, your sun is going to look like a star. So it's up to you, your personal choice, what kind of a look are you going after. I can't decide. I like both. Depends. When the sun goes down... No, don't. I'm not gonna sing, don't worry. I don't know how to sing. But I do know how to take photos, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Now the landscape photography doesn't stop now. What we're gonna do now is shoot some night photos, and that is going to be another video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.